de començar el partit i potser així ràpidament sorprèn aquest Jan Virgili, que estava a la boca de molta gent del mercat, que estava a punt d'anar al Mallorca i està, de fet, encara està, però avui titular en aquest partit.
Jan Virgili és jugador del Barça, per tant, si és jugador del Barça Atlètic, doncs i avui el Barça Atlètic té un compromís a jugar, això no hi ha més volta de full, està claríssim.
Doncs comença el partit i ja...
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Barça Athletic preseason friendly game against FC La Scala, who are playing in the 5th division, if I'm not mistaken, in the Spanish division. So previously I think they played in Catalonian's 1st division, so it will be quite a challenging team, I guess, as we already faced them on multiple occasions in previous Barça Athletic pre-seasons. And let's hope that they will not ban me, as you mentioned, Azaze. So during the game I will be able to answer your questions if there are any. So just go ahead and ask if you have. And we'll see how it goes from here, as this small experiment that we will gonna do, and if it's gonna do well, or if I'm gonna enjoy it as well. So that's a great play by Aziz. Also interesting to see that Aziz is starting on the left side, while he previously played on the right under Albert Sanchez. Yeah, regarding Landry, it seems like he picked up another injury, which kinda sad, as he started the preseason with the first team. And now he seems like to pick up another injury, see, so hopefully he will recover soon and be able to start the season healthy and fit. Gary, hi, maybe one day you will join me on here as a commentator as well, no? Shady, which audio is low? The game audio or my audio? Also, Noah, hard to say, you know, as if Oscar stays fit, it will be, I would say he will be my bet as a most surprising one to be a big surprise, and I'm also excited to see him back being fit, and so it's an exciting thing to see as well, as I think he missed like second half of previous season. So yeah, also Kim Jin-Yet, of course, if he stays, as there is already mentioned in a few podcasts that has several offers to leave, but you know, I think he wants to stay and wants to fight for his dream. But again, there's a lot of midfielders in the first team, so we'll see. So my bets for Barça Athletic to be like an exciting to see Kim Jin-Yet and Oscar Gistao as my bets, so we'll see how it goes with them. Brimo Tunkara in Barça Athletic, ooh, I think it's a bit too early for him, maybe at the end of the season, you know, so it's hard to say, but maybe next season he will be doing preseason at least, maybe even with the first team, you know, you never know. If he stays fit, healthy, so we could see him even the first team, Barça Athletic, as the Kim Jin-Yet, good right there. Oh, nice chance for Barcelona, Jan Vergili. Corner for Barça Athletic. Looking good for Barça Athletic, you know, under Juan Ebleten. I'm enjoying how things are going, especially in the opening 4 minutes. So let's hope that this will stay for the remainder of the season, you know, and we actually will play good football. Players will be developing. Two top 3 players, most talented from the starting 11. Of course, we have to mention Kim Jin-Yet, you know. That's my one pick. Who else from this team? Of course, Oscar Gistao. as well as a big striker, promising one as well. So I hope he will do well. And my favorite, Javier Spart, is a few seasons ago I mentioned him like as an underrated player in La Masia who I wish that will be successful in the coming season. So yeah, I think those three are my bets, and those who have most potential from the starting 11. Regarding Gil, Archie, it's hard to say. For me, I would say living on loan would be the best option to playing at a higher division if you're at FC Andorra, because I think fourth division there he did well with Tony last season, so it's hard for him to compete there. It's gonna be quite easy. So I would say loan if he's not gonna stay in the first team. I think because of course, well, always depends on the playing time. If FC Andorra, for example, offers the Barcelona guarantees that he will play for sure, then sure. Because what's the options of having our players be on loan while Andorra will while they're signing players that are free agents more often, they rarely spend money on players. So it's hard thing to see. So we'll see how it goes. Casjo, do you expect promotion this season? I would say yes. Of course, it's still a completely different team that Julian Belletti has. He lost Arno Pradas, Hugo Alba, who both contributed like 30 goal and assists for his team. Also, there's a chance that Jan Vergili could leave. So that's he's basically the front three that he was using most in Juvenile A. So fighting for that promotion would be like my expectations, to be honest. Yeah, Kim is yeah, a big talent. We saw him in preseason last season with the first team, but kind of disappeared from here and there. So we hope that he will return. We'll have a good season for Barça Athletic, and maybe we'll get a promotion eventually. Why is the club so bad at finding their kids good loans if there isn't any space for them on the first team? They have so much potential to be solved. Yeah, I know exactly. I've been talking on multiple occasions that Barcelona needs to get that loan system developed because the potential is there, like good loans. And if they don't make it to the first team, they could go for big money, especially now when La Masia is getting a lot of recognition worldwide. So, and then we go and sell players for a man Cospo like for 500,000, but of course they didn't play for the first team. So that kind of influences a lot in the pricing things, especially from other clubs when they know that we're not that financially stable. But yeah, loans also, like, you have to get guarantees from clubs that they will definitely give that playing time to the youngsters. And like from the other club's perspective, like, why do you rely on the young player who's quite raw if you can rely on the players that you already have and that they are under contracts for the next season or next season? So that is like a big issue that Barcelona needs to figure out during their loans deals. Also, that also contributes to the fact that Barcelona renews the contract of juvenile A players for like 2 or 3 years. So they play 1 year on loan, and the next year they're basically on the last year of the contract. So what you gonna do with them? Yeah, Kwong. Hopefully, it won't be a permanent deal, but if Barcelona doesn't, I think Brian Frinas with a good ball to Jan Vergili. Well, nice chance. So yeah, we'll see how it ends up with Gila, because talent is there. I think he needs still time to adapt to professional football, so it will take time. Yeah, like with Gila, Andorra is also because second division team, and maybe Pique will offer get the guarantees to the club that they will play Porto also. But again, with Porto they already like have a good enough academy on their own, so why will they playing someone like Gule while they have a bunch of incredible academy players in their own club? So yeah. Archie, regarding Joffrey and David Duro, I made that talent of the Joffrey when he just suffered ACL injury, so I decreased it because I didn't expect him to return to his best. But to be honest, I kind of liked him a lot during his cadet A stage, and I think during that time no one was even talking about it. And if you look at some videos of my old ones, you can find that my video on his cadet A highlights were like the first one video or even a clip on in the internet, maybe even so. So I'm a big fan of Joffrey, but I wasn't expecting him to return to his best. Even he even got better, I would say, from his injury. So incredible return, and I would say he good potential. But from the first games that we saw, I think he needs to work on some things, and then he will definitely be a big useful player for the team. Yeah, Cuenca, the camp position, the midfield is also La Masia constantly provides those great players, those talented midfielders, and that's what we are known most for, So it's a big dilemma for the coaches, for the academy coaches, for the sports directors, and so on. Oh, best eight. Is that like first team you mean, or like in La Masia in general? Because in La Masia I like Gerard Moyol a lot as an 8, but he usually plays in a 6 as a pivot, but he's a very interesting player also. So I'm gonna also mention that whenever he turns 15, at least that's what I was at 15, yeah, 15, he will be promoted to Juvenil B permanently, as the regulations do not allow him to play in those under 19 divisions like Liga Nacional and Liga Division de Honor Juvenil. But when he turns 15, he will be in dynamics of Juvenil B permanently, and we'll see him there. But until then, until October, he will be with Cadet A. At least that's what I was told. Arno Prados or Jarn Vingirli? Ooh, hard to say, because their profiles are a bit different, but in short-wise, I think Arno maybe a bit more because of that, of his creativity, more on ability on the ball. But again, Jan Brigile is also a good talent, and we'll see how his development goes in the future. Yeah, AD, as mentioned, I don't know why Barcelona doesn't offer good loan systems that will allow Barcelona to keep the players and develop. Like we saw Fermin Lopez, how he did well on loan, and now he's a permanent first team player, But of course, whenever you go to a different club with a different playing style, with philosophy, it's a bit different, so they need to adapt to that as well. And not everyone can do that well as Fermin. So it's also a big thing to look into the loan systems configuration, because playing with the ball, not all the clubs do that. So whenever La Masia creates those players that are based on those philosophy, or the first team that's play with the ball, keeping the possessions, and based on that. Iguer Rodriguez, I think so. I think he should be promoted to Juvenil A, as long, I think at least that's what I heard, as Cadet A goalkeepers were promoted. I think two of them, the third, Juan Melgar, wasn't renewed, so he's still looking for a club, as far as I know. What happened to Landry, Abdul? I think he picked up an injury, it seems like, because he's not on the bench nor in the starting 11, and so yeah. I wouldn't say Joffre was that highly rated. Of course, he was playing with Spain, but as far as I remember, no one was talking on him on social media or on anything. But the player he was like an interesting player, I found, to be honest, at the time.
Xevi Germán, aquest jugador Torruella, qui s'encarregarà de posar aquesta pilota en joc.
I wouldn't say Joffre was that highly rated. Of course, he was playing. Best cam in general. That's an interesting thing to ask. Oh, that's a tough one. I would say maybe Tony. I would say even Lamilne would do well in that cam position, you know. So it's hard to. It's a difficult question you're asking, you know. So. Yeah, I think maybe Tony would be even better there, you know, being behind the striker, but in front of the midfield, and more centrally, having that freedom to play, you know, anywhere he would like. Barça, Lovre Shelfie, interesting. He was expected to be a Barça Athletic signing, but I think they decided that he needs time to adapt to Barcelona. Maybe they had like a few looks on him during trainings or so on, and they decided to go the route of Ibrahim Diarra. So maybe that's why they're looking for. But if he does well, maybe we'll see him with Barça Athletic this season. Damien, regarding loan of Cuenca, yeah, I think sure, why not? You know, loans are always good if you find the perfect club for the player to develop. Of course, he needs a bit work defensively, like that awareness. So yeah, of course, if he does well, great. He can return, especially with Inigo Martinez most probably leaving next season. Yeah, he would have a chance, you know, to fight for his spot as a left centre back. Cutie, regarding Kim, as far as I heard, but of course it was a couple of months ago, there was a lot of interest in him from different clubs on a permanent deal as well. But of course, he kind of was disappointed not being included in the preseason. But there's like some behind the scenes things that are ongoing. So you know, kind of surprising me if those things are true. Their alert comes off. Oh, nice one. Okay. So I think his expectations, if he's gonna stay, most likely we will see him permanently with Barça Athletic. I think he needs to adapt maybe physically more. Of course, he has that ability to fight off players with his lower center of gravity with the ball. So yeah. The Lucas, oh, he's a great player, but I think, you know, it's the same story as with Desire Dua, that we were interested in him before he joined PSG, but Barcelona didn't want to take a risk, you know, paying like a lot of money for 18-year-old player who was unproven, you know. So if the Lucas is also similar story, because I think his team is asking for like 15 million, if I'm not sure. So I don't think Barcelona is ready to offer that amount. Nice defense by David Oduro there. So I don't think he will come if that is his price at the moment. But if Barcelona will be able to renegotiate his price, like maybe for 50% of his rights or selling clause keeping for his club, maybe we'll see him. But for now, I don't see this happening, to be honest. Yeah, regarding like Lovro, definitely with Juvenil A is the best option, as he will be able to adapt. Nusrat, hi, how are you doing? Long time no see. I think last time I saw you during the Barça Athletic Primera FFF streams. Hey Marcus, thanks for the kind words, appreciate it. How do you get all the information? It depends on what information. Are you talking about the goals? You can find it on Catalonians Federation, like for La Masia, like score sheets, lineups before the games there. Or if you're talking about news or information that I'm talking about, like inside things, well, constantly talking with some, agents, family members, environments, to see what is going on. Also with coaches, of course, they're not allowed to speak a lot, but like try to keep great relationships with them. Kente, regarding Dani, yes, I think he will be promoted to the first team. At least this was the plan with him all the time, as Hansi Flick likes him, and he will definitely, as soon as he recovers, he will be in. Oh, that is a on goal, unfortunately. Wow. What just happened there? What just happened there? Wow. What just... I'm so confused right now. Wait, is that a pass from Tommy? Tommy, unlucky, There's positioning, I think, wasn't the best there, but hey, that's a strange one. I don't think I've seen this one in a long time, maybe even ever, in Barça Athletic. So yeah, Canter, Dani will be with the first team dynamics, but with Barça Athletic registration as well. Actually, yeah, I think he's very short, but Gavi was also short, so I don't think that is a problem if he wants to fight for the first team, number. Yeah, Fabrice. Well, loans are always good, but you always have to keep that balance in the team, keeping the experience with the players, and of course the talents need to be playing more competitive football. Of course, it's a bit different playing in fourth and second division, because in second division, if the clubs decided to fight, in the second division to stay, so we will be seeing more signings from other clubs, and we have seen that it hasn't been as good as before, when, for example, Jonathan Soriano was playing in second division with Barcelona B, scoring 33 goals or something, so it's a bit different now. Yeah, Miguel, I expect Iker to play with Juvenil A next season, all this season now. Javier, regarding Xavi, hard to say, because we're very limited on the right back position right now, especially natural ones. I think the first one that comes to mind maybe Neil Texador, but I think he's not ready for Barça Athletic, for example, right now at least, but he's also good. That's a good run by Tommy. So Xavi exports, Jan Virgile now on the ball. Oh, nice, come on. So close. So I think Xavi, will be playing more at right back until someone who can play there more often, but also Julian will also enjoy his versatility as well, so we'll see him in midfield maybe in some games as well. Well, Kim is not that small, he's not 5'4", but he's like, I think he's on a similar area of
Ja ho veuen,
Right.
25 d'aquesta primera part, val el gol en pròpia porta de Tobi, té alerta perquè ho torna a provar l'escala, que guanya per 1-0. La passada és bona cap a Hagi, banda esquerra, davant seu Xavi Espar, decideix per Espósito.
Yeah, at least Google says it's like 171 for Kim Jin-young and Gavi is 173, you know, so 2 centimeters difference is not that massive. It's not a big. No, I don't think so. Actually, last time I talked with Geo Environment, I was in Barcelona, so it was during January, you know, so at the time he was recovering, you know, it's a different thing, you know, to psychologically to be missing football, especially when you play, when you love it, you know. But he's recovering, he is doing well, and I think he will be back this season, hopefully, if nothing happens. Regarding Diego, I think it will be both. With Barça Athletic, he will be more number one. Of course, it depends on who leaves, if Inaki leaves or not, of course. Expectations that he's gonna leave, but you never know with our club, so we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But I think he will be in like both. We'll be playing, we'll also be traveling with the first team when necessary, you know, so. And in any case, if Diego will be playing with Barça Athletic, most likely Eder will be the third goalkeeper choice in the first team, as it was happening last season as well.
Alerta, perdona, que ha tornat a perdre la pilota al Barça Atlètic. Espósito, li torna per Xevi Germán. I finalment la pilota la pot tornar a recuperar de Derale. Per ser una segona federació aquest any, es preveu xulíssima, la viurem aquí a la xarxa amb el Barça Atlètic, amb l'Espanyol B, amb el Girona B.
Also will be interesting to see Nico Martipar and Haris Gariba both on the bench, so maybe we'll see entire team changed up in the second half. The Barcelona goalkeeper, Archie, it's Eder Ayer. He arrived. Ooh, that's a nice chance. Close by Aziz. Looks like Juliano Belletti is a big fan of Aziz, so we'll most likely see him more often. Of course, it was Kim's chance to Aziz.
Imagina't, l'any passat els 3 gironins van baixar. Com Lloret, com Figueres,
The plan for Landry? Good question. As soon as he recovers, we'll see, but most likely he'll be with Barça Athletic. And if the club, if the first team, oh, that's a nice, beautiful ball by Kim Jin-young, Jan Virgili, and nothing comes out of it. With Landry, maybe we'll see him with the first team a bit, maybe traveling there and there, and if we're gonna see more injuries, most likely he will play, so yeah. Yeah, Virgili is, you know, interesting story with him. Before he signed for Barcelona, I talked to him a bit, you know. At the time, he was supposed to be signing only 1-year contract, you know, and only at the end they added that clause for the +2 additional seasons. So yeah, so he was renewed, and if the club didn't decide to put that clause in, he wouldn't be maybe even staying here, as we see with Arno Pradas, Hugo Alba leaving the club this season. Yeah, at some point, you know, you just need to stay calm and not complain and just enjoy the friendly games, you know, just see what is happening, not take everything so seriously, you know. Thanks for the kind words, Cedric. Yeah, at some point, Miguel Oscar to the first team by next year. If he stays fit, maybe, especially considering that Lewandowski might be leaving or even retiring, you never know. So we'll see, because the talent there, if he returns to his best as a goal-scoring machine that we knew, sure, we could. If I was the coach, that's a good chain. Well, it depends on, what kind of football do you want to play, what profiles, you need. Because we kind of already have that, everything in the team. So it's hard to say, there's like options, Kim Jin, Java Expert, that comes to my mind at first. Yeah, Archie, I don't know, why we just do 2-year contracts, not 3, of course. When they're underage, they're not able to sign longer than 3 years. But, for example, juvenile A players that get promoted to Barça Athletic when they turn 19, they sign only like 2-season contracts. So why? Maybe financially not viable, or maybe other things to take into consideration, because the salaries need to be considered and so on. So the team is going to warm up, so most likely we'll see the entire 11 changed in the second half. But of course, I would hope that Barcelona changes the policy for the contract renewal and maybe get like 3-4 year, like with the signings, when a new signing arrives, they sign like a 4 or 5 year contract. But the players who go through the academy only sign like 2 years. So it's kind of disappointing. Oh, that's a great ball by Alexis. Java Spart on the ball. Kim Jin. Oh. That's a free kick, no? Ooh, and that's a foul by Tommy. A yellow card for him. What the plan for this Barça Athletic? I guess Juliano most likely will use him more often than Albert Sanchez or Sergio Mila, so we'll see him, I guess, more often, at least I hope, because he has been doing great for his country. Was called up for first team of Ghana, if I'm not mistaken, so making his debut there. So because also he was like nominee for the best African talent last season, so the talent is there, so hopefully we will be able to adapt him and play him and maybe even sign him permanently. Alexis Almeida, very underrated player, I would say. Also like that Hector Ford profile. Remember them, changing positions when Alexis was playing center back, Hector was playing right back. When Hector was playing center back, Alexis was playing right back. So. But quite underrated, and wouldn't be surprised to him maybe getting a few call-ups to the first team, but needs a bit work, but all youngsters need that, so it's a great player in my opinion though. Brian Farinas, Brian, interesting with him, he stays, despite the rumors of Arsenal, and what I was told, they were kinda true. Let's say that. Of course, that was more smoke screen, let's call it that. But eventually he was renewed, and kind of good, that reliable player on the ball, box to box. That link up between defense and the attack. I think he will do well this season, as he has been called up a few times with Barça Athletic already.
Pau s'anticipa perfectament Elian Guillet i envia la pilota fora de banda.
Yeah, with Oscar, I also hope that he will score a few more goals, you know, during preseason, get that feeling of scoring goals back, because he hasn't been playing a lot. Of course, last season he missed a lot with injuries, so he was kind of devastated with that. You know, it's not easy going through injuries psychologically. Well, yeah, you know, Archie, it's only the second preseason game, so there's a time, you know. These players are kind of hybrid of Barça Athletic, Juvenil A. Most are Juvenil A, so it's a bit different team, you know. Yeah, but if Belletti does what he did last season with Juvenil, it will be very exciting season, maybe more with entertaining football, you know, because what his front three of Jan Vergili, Hugo Alba, Arno Pradas did last season was incredible. I don't remember last time the front three like picked up 50 or 60 goals and assists combined, you know. Ooh, that's a close one by Brian Farinas and Oscar Gustavo. Stanis Pedrola, I think I didn't like watch a lot of his games. I saw a few glimpses. Didn't play that often, and I think he will return to Sampdoria this season, and we'll see how it goes. And of course, Quitty, thanks for the kind words. Bro Hansen, no, nothing. I didn't hear anything. As far as I know, his club doesn't want to sell him, so it's a difficult signing as far as I know until now. So very unlikely that it's gonna happen. But you never know how it will go. Maybe by the end of the season we'll sign him. Could it? Yeah, I would say it's a chance for Lescala. Good save by the Eder Ayer. That's a good one. Yeah, with Albert, you know, I really liked him as a assistant coach, you know, and I talked praises about him, and I heard a lot of talks from several people inside the club that as an assistant coach he's very good, you know, but as we saw as a coach, it's a bit different job that you need to do, skills that you need to require. Not everyone can do that, you know, and we see that Abdulaziz on the ball, Brian Farinas, and it goes out for the corner. Dunkerque, yeah, I'm not sure how it will go, but I always will wish the coaches that come through La Masia or Barça Athletic the best, you know. So hopefully he will do well there, and maybe he will change up a bit, you know, and does well and has a good career as a manager. But as an assistant coach, he's good. I'm not sure how it will go, but I always will wish the coaches. Yeah, Javier with the Isaac stories, you know, Sheshko as well being linked, you know, Haaland also on that 10-year contract is. Ooh, that's a bad tackle on Brian Farinas. That's a yellow. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a red. That's a horrible tackle there. The number 9 market, yeah, it's difficult. Well, it's so very, you know, used up. All the signings are made, you know. So, but I think that Juan Laporta will want like that star signing just before the president's elections. So we will see how it goes. Maybe if we're financially healthy, we'll go for Haaland, you know. But you never know how it will go. David Oduro needs a bit work, you know. We saw good glimpses of there and there in a few matches. Also did a highlights video on him. I think I uploaded it. When I did upload it? On Monday? No, on Wednesday I uploaded it, I think. So yeah, when I was watching it, I think he needs a bit work, you know. So, but the talent is there, but needs to adapt to Barcelona philosophy. So yeah, Bo Hansen. I think I already answered to Trouch as well regarding Hansen that it's a difficult signing at the moment, but we will see. Flick's arrival brings significant changes to the academy? No. No. The mythology or is the responsibility of Mark Serra and Sergei Mila and Alexanko. They decide how the coaches need to adapt their philosophy in the academy, what they expect from the coaches, what football they will need to play. So yeah. As far as I know, Albert Blanco, who was previously Cadet A coach, is the link between Hansi and the La Masia players, as he provides a lot of feedback on the players from the academy as well, as he knows them quite well, as he spent a lot of time here. Yeah, crossing Chasm B. Oh, that's a good chance by David Oduro. That is so close by David Oduro. That's a great run by him, to be honest. No, Xavi Expert tricked Aziz there. I thought he's gonna leave it to him. Iniesta return as a coach. Ooh. I think I remember Bartomeu saying that he expects Iniesta to come back at some point, that they may like made some kind of a deal, but I'll be more excited to see Thiago Alcantara, return as a coach, maybe as a cadet coach, maybe of course not this season, but next season. Depends on the departures of the coaches. But of course, La Masia coach is also in up for grabs by the Arabian world, as we see quite often. Even now, Juan Pons left to Arabia. Before that, Juan Ortega was also left to, I think, UAE, as he was coaching their under-20 team as well. So La Masia coach is always there to promote football and the philosophy of Barcelona, I guess. So we'll see if Iniesta will return as a coach, maybe as a juvenile A cadet in the future. We have to wait and see, but nothing as of now regarding rumors, I would say. Oh, Ruslan or Sama? At the moment, I would say Sama, because he had a good season with Juvenil B. Holpanes is a big fan of him as well, trusted him a lot. Ooh, that's intercepted, but that would have been a great ball by him. Sama had a good season, before that it was mixed, a bit struggling with form, like as a wide winger he didn't do well, playing on the right also it's like not the best for him, I would say. But Ruslan, talent is there, of course, needs to work as well a bit to be the best talent of 2010 generation as well, of course, because you have a Brima there, it's difficult to call him the best talent of his generation. Best coach in our academy, Abdul, is Paul Planas. Very talented coach. I liked him a lot. Enjoyed his teams play in all stages, from cadet B to juvenile B to juvenile A, and he's now will be coaching juvenile A this season, as he was recently promoted. So I would recommend to watch his teams. Guillem, I think he struggled a bit to adapt, to professional level. Maybe that's why, because he was always like the tallest, had that great physique during his youth La Masia stages. So it's a big jump for him. At 15 he was already playing with Barça Athletic, so he needed to adapt. But if Flick sees value in him and sees that he will play, sure, he will stay in the first team. But we already have a very stacked midfield, so it's a difficult thing to see at the moment. Yeah, the team needs a bit needs to get sharper, you know. So, but it's just the preseason for now. It's only the second game, and they still have like 2 3 games, and then we also fly to Brazil to face Flamengo under 20, who recently I think defeated Bayer Leverkusen like 4-5-1 or something, which is crazy to me. But of course, Bayern also played Leverkusen. I mean, they're like youngsters as well, so it's not that big strategy that I saw from the media. Yeah, like it's hard, you know, who would you be selling from midfield? You know, Fermin Lopez, Marc Casado, Frankie will stay. Mark Bernal also staying, recovering from the ACL injury. Gavi also getting, you know, returning from his ACL injury. Pedri is untransferable. Olmo, new signing, so he won't leave until unless there is an offer for 60-80 million. So it's a hard thing to say. Thiago joined Liverpool, no? I don't think so. Maybe I missed something. Gio Cardoso Varela sign. We'll see, because there were rumors, but now it's quiet. We'll see, because he's doing preseason with the first team. I think he did well, but hopefully he will come, you know, because a big talent. Of course, there's a story with him, with Sporting and so on. So we'll have to see and wait how things go there. Gila rushed, skip juvenile A. Well, hard to say, no, because Marc Bernal, for example, skipped entire juvenile stage, so, and he went to Barça Athletic straight away. And he did well there, and for the first team he also did well. And now we have the halftime with El Escala winning so far through an own goal by Tommy Marquez. But we'll see how it goes in the second half. We most likely will see a different team there. So I think for now we're gonna take a small break for a few minutes, 15 minutes, and then we'll return. And yeah, I will answer the questions that I didn't answer yet. So we'll go and see you in a bit.
empata 1-0, el gol en pròpia porta de Tommy, que fa que l'Escala tingui aquest petit avantatge en el...
And we're back for the second half. As far as I saw, we're seeing a completely different starting 11 now. And I hope we will be able getting to receive. So we're getting this starting 11 for the second half, as I was supposed now. So Eldar, Azerbaijani goalkeeper, is starting. Brian Farina stays. Juan Anaya comes on. Alvaro Cortés also playing, as I see. Alexander Bolton also there. Samanomoko is a great substitute as well. Pedro Rodriguez, Victor Barbera, Juan Fernandez, Raúl da Costa, and Nico Marcipar, Argentinian centre-back. We'll be able to see him there, so I think he will play at left back. So yeah.
I els puntes continuen... En Xavi Germán ha passat a jugar en punta al puesto de Josep i l'Adrià Esposito...
Okay, so where we left... So by question by Daniel, how much time do you think will take Brima to be promoted to Barça B? I think next season we can expect him, to be honest. So yeah, I think next season we're definitely gonna see him in Barça Athletic. Kuti, Andre, Natalie, yeah, I would like to have seen him with the first team, but hey, he left with the project offered to him. I guess it wasn't the project that was real, you know, so of course with Barça he wouldn't also be in the first team, as we saw that Eman Dinger call up despite being like the most promising center back in the juvenile stages, so that's a dangerous play by El Scala, but intercepted by Alvaro Cortés. Oh, Pedro Rodriguez, a very fascinating player as well to watch. Pedro. I remember so many Pedros in cadet A team with Pedro Villar, Pedro Rodriguez, and Pedro Fernandez. That's why that's why Pedro Fernandez got the nickname Draw, because of so many Pedros in the team, especially in that midfield. Casado will be sold when Baba comes through. Firmino will be sold when Drogula establishes themselves and no more after the World Cup, hopefully. Well, maybe, you know, you never know. Maybe Hansi or values them more, maybe not. We will see how it goes, because with Omo you also need to balance the books. You cannot sell him, you need to consider amortization for him in order to be able to sell him. Of course, Fermin also it's like kind of La Masia players, and you know, and then you go and sell. Oh, that's a great turn by... who is that? I think it's... no, it's Juan Hernandez with that turn. The club defense underestimate Fermin selling. It's not about ceiling, you know, it's about the profile, and he's kind of like what we kind of were missing at the time, you know, also, and he has that great goal scoring abilities. Also, that rotational squad player, you also need to have those in the team, you know, you cannot have like the best midfielders of 6 and you cannot start them. You have to have the squad players to be able also at a higher level. I like him, you know, as I liked him during his early stages as well. Olmo, yeah, with his injuries, it's hard to say if it was the right signing, especially with Xavi Simons now also leaving Leipzig, so... yeah, it's a 50-50 thing with Olmo. Great talent, you know, but injuries doesn't help his situation. Arian thinks, I hope this experiment will work nicely, and then maybe, oh, that's a great ball by Sama Nooko. Always with great crosses from him, so that's why the substitute will always of Sama will provide those crosses into the box, you know, similarly to what Usman Dembele and his crossing abilities were doing, you know. That's why I kind of compared his profile to Usmane, but now he's more like a with wide winger. Oh, that's a great ball. Pedro Rodriguez finds no one and intercepted.
Però molt millor sembla la versió del Barça Atlètic que estem veient en aquests primers minuts de la segona part.
Sí, molt més intens, molt més...
Any updates on Yarvel Gile? Will we have buyback clause with him? With Jan Vergile, as far as I heard, that Mallorca was interested in him. You know, and we saw rumors there. Buyback was kind of discussed in the recent article by, I think it was Jomi Marcet from Sport. A great journalist for La Masia, of course, worked a long time for Barça TV before it was basically deleted. Let's say that before Barça 1 reappeared in that form. And it was mentioned that there might be a buyback clause, but as far as I heard, like at the moment, nothing definite there, you know. Yeah, no agreement with Mallorca. Mallorca wants 2 million for 50%. Barcelona is asking for 4 million for 50% of Jan Vergilis rights.
No ha sigut titular, però segurament és un dels que apunta titular en aquesta escala.
Jo penso que és titularíssim, el que passa que el que parlaves tu abans, no? Incorporen de les vacances tard, aprofiten perquè són gent que no viuen d'això, ells treballen, tenen la seva principal ocupació amb la seva feina professional, no?
Això hem de dir, la majoria de jugadors de l'escala no viuen només de jugar a futbol, sinó que tenen alguna altra ocupació i per tant, doncs, aquí és també una diferència, no? Els jugadors del Barça Atlètic tots absolutament cobren i no només cobren, sinó que somien en dedicar-se a guanyar-se la vida al món del futbol.
I la seva única dedicació és aquesta. No és que la majoria no tinguin una altra ocupació, és que penso que tots tenen una altra ocupació. Si no tots, és un 90%.
Perquè potser hi ha algun juvenil que potser encara no la té, etc.
No, that's not a great pass from Brian Farinas there before. Nico Marcepar playing as a right centre-back, just noticed. Oh no, he's at left-back, never mind. Oh, who did I see just for a second there? Oh yeah, he's playing right centre-back. That's unusual, especially considering that he's left-footed, you know. And we'll have Alvaro Cortes highlight season of his season, I think on Friday, next Friday. And this will be my last Barça Athletic highlights video for 2024-2025 season, and then I will move on to Juvenil A. Of course, I will still need time to finish them up, but you know, I need to go for 35 matches and making on all players those footages, highlights videos. Interesting situation with Eldar as well. Signed last season, left on loan, came back. That's a foul? No? Okay, that's not a foul on Alvaro there. Elmer's whose kit number? What player you mean? What's your opinion of Martin as a left centre-back? Well, he played as a centre-back at Cornea, so you know, he looked decent. Sama. Not great. Corner for Barca though. So I think he could be an option, but you know, especially with Joffre staying as a substitute for Balde opens up the possibilities for Martin to be playing at left center back. So why not? If Hansi Flick finds value in him, sure.
volen descansar una mica més amb la possessió, no? Això em sembla molt bé, és una aposta molt més
One Samanamoko on the ball, and he shot his block and caught.
Rebotat i finalment atraparà sense problemes Suti, el porter de l'Escala, que també posa un punt de pausa, però alerta per la norma dels 6 segons. Ha posat la pilota en joc ràpid, hem pogut veure a la recta final de la primera part que els porters aquesta temporada, i això ho veurem, i jo crec que és una bona iniciativa perquè...
Also, we need to see what's gonna happen with Raul Da Costa, who's fighting for that ball now, as he's quite older than most of the players. Also, he has offers in the second division, and we'll see how it goes with him. Ananaya, Nico Martipar, Brian Farinas, Alvaro Cortes on the ball. Victor Barbera, unlucky with his injuries upon his return. Of course, don't know why he decided to leave in the first place, but that's his sporting decision. Oh, okay. So let me give you. So number 13 goalkeeper Eldar. Azerbaijani goalkeeper number 8 is Brian Farinas, who's playing from again in the second half, as he started from first minute. Then on the right back position, Juan Anaya, number 12, number 14, left center back Alvaro Cortes, number 15, Alexander Walton, who's playing at left back. And then right center back we have Nico Marcipar, juvenile center back, left-footed, Argentinian as well. So yeah, and then going into the midfield we have number 18 Pedro Rodriguez. Then we have, as mentioned, Brian Farinas as number 8, Juan Hernandez, apologies, as number 20, and the forwards Victor Barbera as number 19, right here as he pressures the center back, as a striker, number 19. Then on the right side of the wing, Saman Namoko as number 17, and left winger Raul Da Costa.
I que també segurament per això només està allò que dèiem, de mitjoreta, només estarà per mitjoreta. Bona pressió ara per part de Xavi Germán, que ha pogut recuperar la pilota, i alerta perquè venen els canvis. I aquí haurem
I'll drop the squad numbers in the chat as well for you. Opinion on fourth situation. I think we just got a rumor from French journalists that Paris FC, newly promoted club to the first division of France, is interested in Hector Fort, but I think he's not their priority, so we'll see how his situation will be, because you know he did well in the last game as well. So, and Roger Martinez now comes on, recently signed midfielder from Espanyol, who also played at the club before as a number 16. I think he played like when he was 11, 12, around that age in La Masia before leaving to Espanyol. And now he returns to the club after Espanyol decided not to renew his contract. How good is the team compared to the third, fourth division? Hard to say, you know, because it's still a very young team. You have juvenile A, most even juvenile B players here, most contributing here. So it's a very young team. We'll definitely fight for the promotion. Oh, that's a bad mistake by Alvaro Cortes there. But you know, fighting for promotion should be a priority, you know, as always. Is Shane Clovert on the bench? I don't think so. I don't think he's on the bench today. So, interestingly enough, I'm gonna assume into final job. I don't think so, because it's kinda FIFA/UEFA, you know, so there will be more trouble with more copyright issues. So I don't think that's gonna happen, you know. But most likely, if some broadcast of Barça Athletic games will definitely be there, most likely, if this little experiment works out. Is Leo Saka injured? That's hard to say because as far as I know, he was kind of injured, but then I saw that he was called up for Moldovan national team under 21. Oh, rolled across on the ball, still on the ball. Oh, and gets stripped there, but still kind of wins the ball, but not really for the goal kick. So it's hard to say, you know, if he's injured because he missed a lot of time, and I think he should have been back by now. But what do you think of extending for it and then sending him out on loan? Yeah, I think that's a good option, to be honest. I think Anzi doesn't fully, you know, trust him enough, as Kunde is there, Eric Garcia is in front of him, so going alone is definitely a good option. Oh, that's a great ball by Juan Hernandez. But Victor Barbea was offside. Or is that... Oh, that's a foul, my bad. That's a dangerous free kick for Barça Athletic here. So definitely leaving alone is a good option. And French division is always good at developing youngsters, giving them playing time. So I think that will be like Paris FC will be good stepping stone, you know, to develop his football more. But of course, it's a newly promoted team, kind of new. So I'm not like, aren't Paris FC, Casio absolutely loaded? I think their owner is the richest person in Europe. Honestly, I don't know about enough of them. I think I heard that they have a good female team, I think, but regarding like the owners or ownership, I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe. But I need chain and Barca Athletics somehow. Check my Yeah, I think. Oh, that's deflected by the goalkeeper. Goes out for the corner. With Shane, yeah, I think hopefully we'll see him more, you know, because he's hardworking kid, you know, needed to adapt a lot because of his small physique. Oh, that is Bolton, no one there in the box. So yeah, but I think recently he has been doing good enough, you know, but I still think he will be with Juvenile A most of the season. Maybe some of the games will be with Barça Athletic, you know, so he needs to work a lot, but he's a working kid, and maybe he will have a chance at the top professional club, but I don't see him reaching the first team, at least for now. But you know, if he develops well, plays well, maybe, you never know, because development is not linear, as people say, you know. And I kinda agree with that. Nomoko and Virgil are clear starters. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that, you know, but it depends if Jan will stay or not. I think the club wants him to stay. Jan looking as a Mallorca as a good option, you know. Of course, you will be playing La Liga football there. Juan Hernandez with a good ball to Sama Nomoko, but the goalkeeper reaches there first. Great chances. Juan Hernandez and Sama Nomoko keep combining nicely in the couple of minutes that we have seen here. I feel like we should sell Ford and buy back for the future, you mean? But the negotiations... yeah, if the club able to keep control of the player, you know, having those like buyback player rights, sure, you know, but I would prefer loans more, but you know, but again, the permanent transfers are more lucrative to the clubs, as they will be buying the player, developing them more, because it's not beneficial for them to loan players and then develop them and then give them back to the parent club. My business side of things coming out here. um, for the first team, strikers in La Masia. Well, there's always Oscar Gustavo, the most promising one, especially on the older scale of things. Who else there? That Paume Miguel, kinda also that has physique, kinda reminds me of Andre Silva, but he's more like a but that's offside. That's a good ball. Pau Miguel, as I mentioned, but he's like more as a target player. He's quite tall, has good physique, but it's again he's playing in a youth team, so it's hard to say for now. But Oscar Guisdao, I would say. Also, there's like Robert Thomas. But he's also like attacking midfielder slash false nine striker type of player. So I wouldn't see him as that typical number 9 striker player in the future. Concha Diego returning to this team. I think so. Yeah, after preseason, he'll be like in the dynamics of the Barça Athletic and the first team, as he's expected to be the third goalkeeper for the first team after Ter Stegen's back surgery and when Inaki Peña leaves as well. You think draw will start for Athletic if Virgili stays? I think so, yeah, because Pedro can play as a number 10, in that midfield. Not necessarily you have to put him on the wing, on the left side or right side, as Virgili mostly as a winger. So I think they can play both at the same time, I think so, yeah. Talent from Feyenoord. Well, it depends, because of our financial situation, I think the club will prefer to have more financial power to replace Lewandowski maybe next year, because I don't expect signings anymore this season in this summer transfer window, unless there's like an opportunity, a market opportunity. That's a great tackle on Alexander Walton there. But yeah, of course, Barcelona monitors. That's Roger Martinez with good press resistance there. Barcelona, that's not a great ball. Sama made that run too early. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I think Barcelona will always keep in touch, like keeping an eye on the right back market. As you know, you always hear Kunde keep saying that, he's a center back. He played there most of his life there, so I think he will be open to playing at left center back as he did at Sevilla. So maybe we'll sign someone as a right back if Eric Garcia will be leaving, not signing that contract. So we see how it will go. Oh yeah, that's good for Paris, but with League One financial regulations, yeah, most likely we'll see them spend quite a bit of money. Of course, the figure that their direct competitor to PSG, Nasser, say he will allow it for them to spend that much, just conspiracy-wise. For calling up. Yeah, Jabba, as Skittle is right, Arno Blanco is the link between Hansi Flick and the La Masia, as he knows the La Masia, the academy very well, as he was the cadet coach before. So yeah, he's a striker for the Diallo. Yeah, but he's very young, Mansour. He's like 12, gonna turn 13, so 12, 13, you know, so you have to wait like at least 3 years, but you still have Lewandowski to replace already next season, so you know you cannot have 13, 14, 15-year-old striker playing there. Of course, he will need to adapt to playing against older players in cadet stage and then juvenile stage as well. Will the agreement with Congo Nation be enough for FFP? Well, there is 11 million that is generated for this season, so I don't think so, as we got hit by that UEFA fine. There was also, we're still waiting for the seats to be confirmed, for Camp Nou to be open, Spotify Camp Nou, apologies, because I will receive a message from Barcelona again to call it Spotify Camp Nou as we did at Barça Bus. So I don't think it will be enough to reach 1v1 rule. Number 16, yeah, that's Roger Martinez, the new signing, free agent. Looks decent so far. Sub David Moreno at this point. Yeah, I don't think that's a reasonable request, but yeah, maybe might help in that midfield, you know. Gile and Gustavo, yeah, Oscar Gustavo needs a bit more game time, as it still looks a bit rusty, you know, missed a lot of time, but I hope he will be fit, healthy, and get back to his goal scoring abilities to Barça Athletic and help them this season earn a promotion. And Gila, you know, tough question, as already mentioned a few times today, that, you know, we'll have to see how it goes, because interest in there, offers are there, first team kinda in the middle, you know, just because you played like 20 minutes in the second half. I don't think it will be enough for Guilherme, but you never know. Thoughts on Iker Rodriguez? Oh, very talented goalkeeper, you know. Very excited. I think he's like top 3 goalkeepers in La Masia at the moment. Like if you remove Aaron or Diego, so for me, Iker Rodriguez and Pablo Peña is my 2 favorite goalkeepers at the moment. Also Sasha. Oh, that's a great shot, but saved. That's a great chance to equalize for Barcelona. I didn't see who it was. Maybe it was Roger Martinez there with that powerful shot. Pablo Peña is my 2 favorite goalkeepers. Oh. That's a great chance to equalize for Barcelona. Do you think the top talents like Kim, Gustavo, Cleverett will play for Barça B, or under 19s was the development priority for them? I think Kim, Gustavo most likely will be for Barça Athletic, with Cleverett is 50-50. I think he might be with Paul Planos, but maybe with Juliano as well. We'll see, because today he's not with Barça Athletic for some reason, so despite scoring in the last game. The priority for them, hard question, you know. The club trusts Oscar, you know, and still sees a lot of value in him, but he needs to return to his best. Kim also has offers, so it's a tough thing to say, but I think he will want to fight for his dream, but kinda difficult at the moment. Clone Moran and sent 11 of them. Yeah, maybe. Because David Moreno, crazy talent, you know, signed from Levante, who are also doing quite well in the academy, as I heard. You know, we're seeing more and more talented players coming through Levante academies, so I'd say keep an eye on that club in their academies as well. But where did Gili play in Porto? They have Real Vega Moral. Yeah, exactly. With Gili, Porto is a big question mark. But for example, someone like, oh, that's a great ball by Roger Martinez. Offside, but Pedro Rodriguez. But that's a great ball by Roger Martinez. Wow. And Pedro Rodriguez always makes those runs into the box, as a box-to-box player, midfielder, incredible player. Of course, little we heard from him last season, but hopefully he will play more and more with Barça Athletic this season. So yeah, coming back to Guillem, so I think FC Andorra will be the best option for him, playing there in the second division, not the professional like La Liga or Portuguese league or German, but still a good stepping stone. If he wants to fight for first team. Mark Dominic, that's the Mallorca striker, I think, yeah. As far as I remember, we were linked with him before he signed that renewal with Mallorca, but I think he's too raw at the moment and not proven enough. So I would say wait a bit with him because you will have to instantly replace Lewandowski. You cannot put a development project now as a striker in that very important positions in the club where most of our strikers were like top names in football world, Lewandowski, Luis Suarez, Eto, so it's a big ask. Do you think Aaron will become our second goalkeeper? If Mats leaves, if Ter Stegen leaves for sure, because Szczesny will stay here maybe 1 year, 2 years, Aaron will get better, most likely on loan, and if the club will trust him, he will definitely become the second goalkeeper, the backup to Juan Garcia. Yeah, Leo. So there's a funny story that at Barça bus, we still call it Camp Nou in our post, and then I think a few years ago, when the Spotify sponsorship was recently signed, we received a message from the official account of Barcelona saying, "Oh, for sponsorship reasons, call it Spotify. We know that it's hard to do that." Oh, that's a powerful shot from Samanumoko, but it was just above the crossbar. So yeah, that is an interesting story, and I think a lot of Barcelona pages on Twitter and Instagram received that message. So that's just like a small Easter egg for those who don't know, but it was at first we thought it was fake. Peter Gies, great first stream. Thanks, man. Appreciate. Hopefully, I will be able to do this more often, and improve talking in front of the microphone, camera, so I could do more podcasts with other guys who invite me and so on. Baba is a center back. Really don't think like that he's being pushed away from his position. Yeah, I don't know what's the reason behind it. Maybe they're trying to work so that he will improve his defensive work. Maybe that is the reason. But I would say defensively he's already decent enough as a pivot, So yeah, that's a good question, but I'm not sure, to be honest, why he's being played as center back, even though he can play as a interior. I saw him play as a 10, as a winger, so that's crazy. Also, he played as a left back for Planes the last time I saw. Mario, regarding Cospo, what was his situation last season? He was maybe the best La Masia center back, and he was sold for bids. Well, now when it's over, I will say what I posted to my Instagram in an exclusive tag when the thing was breaking out is well, the situation was that there was very poor communication from Barcelona side of things, you know, of course. Uh, they didn't receive anything. What's the plan? What they want to see, where his sporting project is. And at the time, after his great season in UEFA Youth League, you know, many clubs approached the agent, and I heard like a lot of stories at the club that there was like already some speaking about Eman possibly leaving in April, I think it was. So yeah, and then at the end of June, Eman's agent had a talk with Barcelona regarding what's their plans for him, and they wanted what Eman's environment and agent wanted is a sporting project that would satisfy all parties basically, but a sporting project that would maybe see him, you know, play in the first team in the next future, you know. But nothing like that was offered by La Masia directors, so a decision was made to look for Fiorentina offer, you know, to accept it, and because they were offering already playing first team football, and you know that's a big jump, so always, you know, professional football is always a bit different than playing in fourth division, so I understand from where they were coming from, and you know, but it's sad that the deal wasn't like our best in this case. Yeah, like there's a few chances, you know, but La Scala goalkeeper has been doing very well in this second half, you know, saving a few shots there and there. So yeah, hopefully we'll see maybe a goal or two in with 8 minutes remaining plus extra time. Signings for Barça Athletic. I don't know if I can say a lot. Well, let's say that Barcelona is monitoring the market as of now. You know, let's say that. For now, I cannot say much, but there's always options. Reaper, I'm still disappointed in the cost per sale, but at least we got a buyback clause. Did we get a buyback clause? I think we got only like 20% of his rights of future sale or something. I don't remember any news regarding a buyback clause. Oh yeah. Reaper, I'm still disappointed in the cost per sale, but at least we got a buyback clause. Did we get a buyback clause? I think we got only like 20% of his rights of future sale or something. I don't remember. Yeah, Barcelona Athletic doesn't keep getting caught on offsides this half. Yeah, I don't think we have a buyback clause, you know, so I remember reading something like this. I remember stories of like 40 400 500 in that transfer fee area, and then 20% of, I remember, is it player rights 20% or a future gain, profit gain. So it's something in those lines the deal is, at least from reliable sources, you know. So no buyback mentioned, nor first refusal. Reaper is about to have a crisis, internal crisis, hey? Yeah, that's why a lot of people say that it was a bad deal, as no buyback, no first refusal option. So yeah, and only like a couple 100,000 transfer fee. Of course, there's also compensation fees that will be involved in the future, as he played a few seasons. So that's Sama Nomoko winning a foul at the edge of the box. Yeah, that's why a lot of people say we'll see who will take it. No buyback, no first refusal option. So yeah, and only like Tim Salvador is asking for a penalty, but no, not gonna happen. The first reports on Cospa were more positive, then it got downgraded with every update. Yeah, I think this is the way with every signing, you know. It goes with 4 million, for example, and then goes down to 2 million. And for example, with Jan Vergile in the news, you know. So I feel like it keeps. Oh, that's a great shot, but it's caught. Alexander Walton took that free kick very well. Yeah, I think great shot from him. Roger Martinez on the ball, a new signing, looking great so far this second half. Alexander Walton took that free kick.
La tasca aquesta de portar l'estratègia joc aturat. Sí, com a mínim avui, Goyo Galvez és el segon entrenador. Sí.
Juga a l'escala, que ha robat una pilota i pot sortir el contraatac. Alerta perquè qui corre és...
Is Rooney Bargini considered as a first-team option? I think so. I think that was the only plan with him, even though the rumors are saying him playing in 4th division. I couldn't imagine that, you know. So I think he will always be in first-team dynamics. But of course there's always Dani Rodriguez, who is always looking for his chance. So we'll see how this battle goes, who will win. I think Dani is more direct than Rooney, so I think he will be more a threat up front, you know, but Rooney also looking decent enough, and so hopefully that ACL injury didn't injure him too much, you know. So hopefully he will do well, because, you know, 2 million fee is a kind of steal for a player if he returns to his best. Of course, there's still a lot of factors to consider. Luka Petru is Jan Vergil 100% living. Well, 100% is never 100% until that contract is signed, you know, as always. As I always say most of the time. But no, for now he's not 100% leaving. There are still negotiations going on between Barcelona and Mallorca. There's also options for loans. Barcelona wants to keep him, so we'll see how it goes, but there's a very likely chance of him leaving though at the moment. Still, Roger Martinez looking very well there. Oh, but no runs from Raul Costa there on Alvaro Cortés ball. Also, Alvaro Cortés attracting some interest in second division, so, and also some other clubs abroad, like Italy, Belgium, who also heard, and Netherlands, no, Germany, I think, yeah, some German clubs also interested in Alvaro Cortés. So we'll see how his situation evolves. Hope when the league finally allows us to sign more players, they will look at the academy players for La Masia. Ajax overtook La Masia. I wouldn't say Ajax overtook La Masia. La Masia is still doing very well, and I would say ahead. But yeah, Ajax has a good generation coming up, and I think Cadet A played against Ajax under 16 and beat them, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, just saying. Why Cortés doesn't have first team chance? He's good left with a tall physical. Good question. I would like to see him in the first team, you know. So, great player, you know, played at Zaragoza. I think he made his debut for Zaragoza's first team at 15, which is very unusual. He was very big talent, you know. So, it's come on, finish it. Finish it. Hey. Rodriguez, Alexander. Oh, that's a goal. That should be That crossed the line. No way. That crossed the line. No way. That went in. How is that not a goal? How is that not a goal? Someone explain that to me.
Llença a terra molt bé ara. El defensa del Barça Atlètic es posa de fer mal, Ha quedat estès sobre el terreny de joc el gol Barça Atlètic. Ara quan s'aturi el joc veurem la repetició, però abans encara continua la jugada del conjunt de l'Escala. El xut final fora. El xut final de Pol Botia i mentrestant hi ha un jugador del Barça Atlètic que està sobre el terreny de joc i anem a veure aquesta jugada repetida. La jugada de Sama.
Let's see the replay on here on the Alexander Walton shot.
Novament la pilota acaba quedant a la frontal i el xut final de Walton al travesser.
And it's on the line. It hit the line.
A veure, Seba, si podem jugar una miqueta amb la
so close.
Línia a línia, Sí, sí. Línia a línia.
I was sure it crossed the line though. That was a great chance.
Per tant, per entendre, no entra tota la pilota,
Such a missed opportunity, and Roger Martinez is down. That's not good. Just signed recently.
Sí, sí, és curiós, Baixa ben bé recte el xut
i torna a tocar el travesser, per tant no ha entrat.
Aquí veiem la repetició de la jugada, el xut de Walton, toca el travesser, baixa,
toca la línia, sí.
Línia, és que cau a la línia i torna a pujar al travesser.
I torna a tocar el travesser.
Curiós, No ha entrat tota, per tant, i per tant, doncs, ben assenyalat per l'assistent, ben vist per l'assistent, perquè no havia entrat la pilota i en tot això...
If you look at IXB team, the talent I was back who almost went to Real. Yeah, but you will also say, because like most of our B teams are with the first team, so if you look at Tony, Gile, Draw, also I would say them crazy talents, so Uzane also great talent, but I don't know why he wanted to leave to Real Madrid when Ajax was offering a great pathway to professional football. Which team will Hafiz Garibu play? Most likely between Juvenil B, Juvenil A, unless he impresses with Julian Blete now as he comes on now. Speaking on him. Pedro Rodriguez there.
Esperant que els diguin el temps d'afegit, perquè evidentment just quan arribàvem al 45 és quan s'ha aturat el joc. Recupera l'Escala, el xut que ha provat de fer ara Casado, la pilota surt per sobre el travesser de la porteria del Barça Atlètic, s'enfada Belletti, que està, no sé si podem veure Belletti on està passat al mig del camp, és a dir, ja no és que estigui a la seva...
Més a prop de la banqueta de l'Escala.
Correcte.
Veus, és el braç. Penso que és el colze, una luxació de colze.
Sí. Doncs esperem que no sigui res, evidentment.
No, perquè no hi ha fractura, és molt dolorós això, però bueno, afortunadament...
Doncs quin final de partit, amb l'ocasió claríssima del Barça Atlètic, amb la lesió de Joan Anaya...
M'ha cridat l'atenció perquè el company de seguida cridaven, saltaven, i dius, ostres, això és que veuen que alguna cosa no va gaire bé, perquè si és muscular no se sap, però els ossos són molt cridaners, perquè les articulacions es mouen i...
Doncs...
Barça Athletic kind is pushing for the equalizer, but so far nothing comes out of it.
Afegit als 45 reglamentaris, juga Sama, que està fent un recital, Sama, per mi, és un dels jugadors del partit. Ara la pilota ha sortit fora de les invadicions del nou Miramar i per això...
Ara triga la pilota a tornar.
Sí, home, clar, això també...
És futbol.
És normal,
és futbol. És futbol, clar que sí.
I juga el Barça Atlètic, però no hi ha temps per més.
Do you know if Oriol is actually gonna stay? I don't think he will stay. And this is the full-time whistle as La Scala beat Barça Athletic this time around. And, well, here we have it. Our first stream with English commentary by me. I hope that you enjoyed it, that this experiment worked out, and hope to see you again. Any exciting plays from Barcelona USA Academy? I'm not sure. I'm not following USA Academy residencies, so and most of them do not jump to the first academy in Barcelona, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I saw some glimpses of things from the USA players, and maybe we'll see them at professional level at MLS initially, you know. Feels like physically Namoka is already La Liga, already crazy. Yeah, definitely, like great physique, great player. Hopefully we'll see him more often. Okay, that's it for today. And have a nice evening, guys, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.
La pilota al conjunt de l'Escala, que acaba aplaudint la gent que ha vingut avui al Nou Miramar i que ha vist un bon partit de futbol, que espero que tots vostès també l'hagin vist a través de la xarxa. Gràcies per estar a l'altre cantó. Gràcies, Miquel Àngel, per acompanyar-nos.